What if I told you that 10 albums changed the entire course of rock music? And not just with killer riffs or chart-topping hits, but with mind-blowing innovation, groundbreaking sounds, and sheer cultural impact. These weren't just records. They were revolutions pressed on vinyl. So crank the volume because we're about to uncover the 10 most influential rock albums of all time. From the 60s to the 90s that didn't just play music, they redefined it. Number 1, The Beatles, Revolver. Revolver wasn't just a new chapter for the Beatles. It was an entirely different book. This is the album where they went full mad scientist in the studio. Tape loops? Check. Backwards guitar solos? You bet. Tomorrow Never Knows literally sounds like it was beamed in from another dimension. Meanwhile, Eleanor Rigby ditched guitars for a string octet. Who does that in a rock band? It's bold, it's weird, it's genius.
Father Mackenzie writing the words to a sermon that no one will hear.
The Beatles basically told everyone, hey, the studio is your playground. Go nuts. And generations of musicians listened. Revolver cracked open the door to psychedelia, electronic experimentation, and the idea that albums could be more than just collections of songs.
Good day, sunshine. Good day.
Without this one, no Dark Side of the Moon, no Radiohead, no modern anything. It's the musical butterfly effect.
Eleanor Rigby picks up the rice in a church where a wedding has been.
Number 2, The Beach Boys, Pet Sounds. Before Pet Sounds, the Beach Boys were mostly about surfing, girls, and good vibrations. But then Brian Wilson locked himself in the studio like a mad genius and emerged with this, an album so rich and emotional, even Paul McCartney called it his favorite of all time. Wilson used everything but the kitchen sink. Sleigh bells, dog whistles, bicycle horns, and a freaking theremin. He layered harmonies so thick you could spread them on toast. Pet Sounds practically invented the idea of the studio as instrument.
We could be married, and then we'd be happy.
And the best part? It flopped at first. Yeah, audiences just didn't get it. But over time, it's become the gold standard for sonic ambition and emotional depth in rock. Pet Sounds didn't ride the wave, it made the wave, and everyone else just tried to catch up. Number 3, The Velvet Underground and Nico. Let's get this out of the way. This album did not sell well when it came out. But it's been said that everyone who did buy it went on to start a band. And honestly, that tracks.
What a clown, 'cause everybody knows.
With lyrics about drugs, identity, and urban grit, this album was like reading Bukowski to a punk rock beat. Add John Cale's screeching viola and Nico's haunting vocals, and you've got something that sounds like it crawled out of a New York alley and straight into the future.
There she goes again. She's knocked down on her feet again.
Andy Warhol slapped a banana on the cover, because of course he did, and backed the band like some avant-garde art dealer. The result? An album that birthed punk, indie, noise rock, and everything in between. The Velvet Underground didn't follow the rules. They buried them under distortion and raw honesty.
I wish you could throw me a line if I read to the top.
Number 4, Led Zeppelin, Led Zeppelin 4.
Many times I've lied, and many times I've listened. Many times I've...
No title, no band name on the cover, just mysterious symbols and one of the greatest albums in rock history. Classic Zeppelin. From the thunderous power of Black Dog to the mystical journey of Stairway to Heaven, Led Zeppelin IV is pure mythic energy. It fused acoustic folk with heavy metal, blues with fantasy, and it slaps.
In case you don't know, the Piper's calling you to join.
Jimmy Page basically wrote the rule book on guitar tone here, and John Bonham's drums on When the Levee Breaks still being sampled today. The album's layered production techniques were as epic as the songs themselves. Echo chambers, backwards reverb, all engineered to feel bigger than life. Four turned Zeppelin into legends, and every hard rock and metal band since owes them a drink, and probably royalties.
Mountains in the canyon start to tremble and shake. The children of the sun begin.
Number 5, The Rolling Stones, Exile on Main Street. Recorded in a crumbling mansion with wires running across floors and amps stacked in bathrooms, Exile on Main Street is the sound of beautiful chaos. The Stones, dodging taxes and possibly the law, made this double album deep in the south of France, and somehow it rocks like a runaway train. It's sloppy in all the best ways. Blues, gospel, rock, country, it's all here. With Mick Jagger growling like a man possessed and Keith Richards riffing like his life depended on it. The murky, almost lo-fi production gave the album a gritty, lived-in sound no one else was even trying to capture. Exile wasn't about perfection, it was about soul, and that's what made it legendary. You can hear its fingerprints on every band that ever tried to mix rock swagger with rootsy grit. Number 6, David Bowie, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars.
Didn't know what time it was, the lights were low.
What do you get when you mix a bisexual alien rock star, glittery jumpsuits, and glam rock riffs? Ziggy frickin' Stardust, baby. This wasn't just an album, it was a space opera in platform boots. David Bowie didn't just create a character, he became Ziggy. The sound was futuristic, theatrical, and deeply emotional. Songs like Starman and Moon Age Daydream are sonic rocket ships. And beyond the theatrics, Bowie used the studio like a sci-fi lab. With Mick Ronson's scorching guitars and slick use of synths and layered vocals, Ziggy Stardust redefined what rock performance could be. It was art, it was fashion, it was androgyny, and it was loud. Bowie kicked open the door for artists to reinvent themselves, and Ziggy remains the blueprint for rock stardom with a twist of cosmic flair. Number 7, Pink Floyd, The Dark Side of the Moon. Welcome to the album that lived on the charts longer than some of us have been alive. Dark Side of the Moon is the kind of record that grabs you by the brain and doesn't let go. Pink Floyd crafted a full-on sonic experience. The heartbeat at the start, real. The clocks in time, recorded in an antique shop. They use custom-built synthesizers and multi-track wizardry to create seamless transitions between songs, all tied together with themes of mortality, greed, and insanity.
Taking away the moments that make up a dull day.
This wasn't music, it was an audio voyage, and the use of quadraphonic sound, mind-blowing at the time. Dark Side redefined the album as an immersive art form, and its influence spans decades, from prog rock to electronica to hip-hop. Number 8, Ramones. Ramones. Here's a wild idea. Strip it of solos, pretension, and fluff, then blast it out at warp speed. That's what the Ramones did in 1976, and it shook the rock world. With songs barely hitting the 2-minute mark, tracks like Blitzkrieg Bop were catchy, fast, and brutally simple. No fancy production, just raw energy and leather jackets. Their debut was recorded in a week on a shoestring budget, and it sounds like it.
Let's go! Let's go! The bumping in the straight line.
But that's the charm. The Ramones gave birth to punk rock, inspired generations of DIY musicians, and proved you didn't need virtuoso chops to start a revolution. You just needed heart, distortion, and an attitude.
Now I'm on all that keeps
Their legacy? Every garage band, skater kid, and rebel who ever said, "Hey, oh, let's go."
Let's go! Hey, ho, let's go!
Number 9, The Clash, London Calling.
London calling to the faraway town.
Punk rock? Check. Reggae? Ska? Jazz? Yep. London Calling is genre chaos in the best way possible. The Clash made an album that punched fascism in the face while dancing to a reggae beat.
Riding the sun, the loosen the screws at the back of the tongue. Don't know why.
Tracks like London Calling and Clamp Down tackled nuclear fear, racial tensions, and rebellion, all while sounding like a party on fire.
We will teach our twisted speech to the unbelievers.
The production was slick for a punk band, thanks to the eccentric brilliance of producer Guy Stevens, who reportedly threw chairs in the studio to inspire performances. Seriously.
Rich man leads a sad life, that's what they say from day to day.
The Clash made punk music that was smart, political, and versatile, and London Calling became the blueprint for socially conscious rock. It didn't just reflect the times, it challenged them. Number 10, Nirvana, Nevermind. One minute the world was headbanging to hair metal, the next, Nevermind dropped and washed it all away like a tidal wave of teen angst. Kurt Cobain's mix of catchy hooks and tortured screams was unlike anything on the radio. Nevermind made grunge a household word, and Smells Like Teen Spirit, that riff launched a cultural shift. Butch Vig's production balanced rawness with polish, creating an album that felt honest and radio-friendly. This wasn't just music, it was a movement. Nirvana gave a voice to a generation that felt disillusioned and unheard. Nevermind didn't just climb the charts, it toppled the old guard and changed the face of rock forever. So there you have it, 10 albums that didn't just rock the charts, they rocked the entire world. From psychedelic revolutions to punk rebellions and space glam operas, these records redefined what rock music could be. Which album blew your mind the most? Did your favorite make the list? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss another deep dive into rock history. Keep listening loud and proud. Rock on.